I'll ask the inevitable question now. You had to cancel the Ryder Cup this year. Kind of walk us through the process of what that decision looked like, and I'm sure you guys had to work with the governing bodies on that decision, and how that went.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly a tough one. We would be in advance week right now, so the Ryder Cup was supposed to happen next week. So we would be closed. There would be, chalets and bleachers all over the place right now. And now I look out the window and we got some guys practicing on the putting green, which is great too. But the decision was difficult. As you mentioned, there's a lot of governing bodies, a lot of large organizations involved. You had the PGA Tour, PGA of America, Ryder Cup Europe, NBC, Sky Sports, Kohler Company. Everyone needed to be aligned on what it was going to look like if we hosted or if we didn't host, if we were postponed, what happens with the President's Cup for next year. So it took some time, but all the organizations worked very well together. Everyone was in the goal of, doing what's best for golf, doing what's best for championship golf, for the Ryder Cup, for the President's Cup, and I think we landed in a pretty good spot. I think it would have been a disaster. Now, you guys talked about the Ryder Cup a little bit before. Not a disaster. I shouldn't say that. It would have been a very different Ryder Cup had we chosen to do it without fans.
Yeah.
Well, that's the big debate is that they are. Right now, golf is fun to watch on TV because you get to see, especially like watching the U.S. Open and seeing Winged Foot and some of these other courses, you've never got to see the course. You only see that little sliver in between the fans. It is pretty awesome to see the entire course now on TV without the fans. But the Ryder Cup without fans is a very different experience, and you're not going to have that same intensity. Was it ever talked about that, hey, we can do this without fans if we do these other things, or was it like it's fans or it's nothing?
No, it was considered. The options were discussed on what could it look like. Virtual fans, kind of like NBA is doing right now type thing. Yeah. So some of these ideas were certainly discussed. Some of them quickly dismissed, some of them not quickly dismissed. But the PGA of America, who's really the governing body of the Ryder Cup, owns the Ryder Cup, they looked at all options. Just like everyone else is doing now, right? You're looking at all options, can you make it work? And eventually it was decided the best thing we could do is postpone. And then the President's Cup is going to move into 2022. And from here on out, we're back to the even years for the Ryder Cup, 2021, 3, 5, 7.
Yeah, so is it been canceled before? Wasn't there one year where it was canceled for another reason?
9/11.
9/11.
Okay.
It was 9/11.
Yeah. So that took it off that odd year calendar, and now we're going to be back on that. So, well, it's unfortunate because your spot is so awesome, and I can't even imagine what that would have been like. Were you guys disappointed in reality, or was it more of a this is what it is? But not 2020 sucks. So what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? Disappointed, yeah, for sure. We've been planning for, the Ryder Cup was announced to be hosted here at Whistling Straits shortly after the 2004 PGA Championship. So we're talking 15 years ago.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's quite the prep.
It was announced.
Yes.
And Mr. Kohler, his family, the Kohler Company, everyone in this community. We then hosted the 10 PGA, the 15 PGA, and the culmination of the Ryder Cup in 20. So we disappointed. Yes, was the right decision made? Yes. We're still going to host it. We're going to host it next year, and we've moved some of our the planning out. We have to do a few things a little bit differently, but for the most part, we're planning on having a great Ryder Cup in this time next year, almost a year from today.
That's awesome. Great.